Hello everyone, I'm gonna show you how to complete your haunted podcast project for this week. So you will need to go to the project page on Canvas. So scroll down and click the paintbrush. It takes you to your project page for this week, the haunted podcast project right there. So I'll click into there. And here's what you will need to complete your project. You will definitely need your Chromebook or computer or whatever device you're using to access Canvas. You need internet access. Some of you are going to do like a regular drawing, or some of you may decide you want to do a digital drawing. And so really this week you have the freedom to use whatever supplies you want to create a drawing or an image. So I just put some recommended supplies here, but you do not have to use these. You could do a digital picture, or if you want to try out your watercolor paint this week, maybe you need watercolor paint. So it's really up to you, the supplies that you want to use to complete this project this week. So basically, what you will have to do is you're going to click this link, the Grace Talks, Haunted, Paranormal, and Supernatural, and it takes you to a Spotify podcast page. So once you get there, you can scroll down and see different episodes that you can listen to, and you can see how long they are. So, you don't have to choose one that's like an hour long, but you do have all week to do this. So you get to choose which podcast you want to listen to. And there's different options. Some are, not super scary if you don't like scary things. I don't like scary things, and I listen to a few of them. They're not too scary. But choose one that you might be interested in. Okay. And then while you listen to it, you're going to focus on visual literacy and imagery that you see in your head while you're listening to the podcast, because you're going to create a drawing or illustrate an image about the podcast you're listening to. So if you don't know what visual literacy is, then you can click it and it takes you to an explanation of what exactly that is. So you basically, visual literacy is the ability to listen to words or use words, like audio files or something that you listen to, and draw a picture or create an image that you see based off of what it is you're listening to. So it's kind of like illustrating a book. If a writer gives you a book that they've written, just the words, and you read it, and it's your job as an illustrator to draw a picture that goes with the story that the writer wrote. So that is the idea of visual literacy, listening to the story or writing, and then creating an image that portrays that story. So these up here are really great examples. I can see a lot of haunted stories from each picture, and I can imagine what is going on in that picture. And you're also using imagery. Imagery is a literacy tool. So poets, novelists, writers use imagery in the writing to make you see something in your head while you are listening to it or reading it. So a writer might describe a cat by saying, the small black cat ran through the moonlit night under the dark blue sky. You could see the stars twinkling, some far away and some closer. And so you can see that, you can imagine that scene in your head as I say it or while you read it. So that is the goal of this project, to listen to one of the, I'll fix that, Grave Talk podcasts, and then create or illustrate an image based off of the podcast you listen to. So when you submit your image or your illustration, I want to see your picture that you drew or created. And I want to know the name of the podcast you listen to so that while I'm grading your projects, I can listen to that podcast too. And it will be really cool. So you can use whatever supplies you want to create your image. You can do it digitally. You can use colored pencils. You could use pen and ink. You could use paint. It's up to you and whatever you feel expresses that podcast. Okay. It does need to be complete. Make sure it's creative. You know, think about the visuals that you see while you're listening to the podcast. Make sure it's neat. If you're drawing something with a straight line, you need to use a straight edge or a ruler to make sure it's neat. Colorful, like I said, you can use color or you can keep it black and white. But if you do keep it black and white, I expect to see some shading, some different values in there, or some textures, maybe cross-hatching or pointillism. And make sure it's complete. I'm not looking for a sketch. I'm not looking for just a pencil contour drawing. It needs to be finished, a complete piece of artwork. Okay. All right. So let me know if you have any questions about this, and I would be happy to help you. Have fun.